Welcome to Board Game Archaeology, where we play time-worn games from the past. I'm Hunter,
I'm Rob.
and today we're playing Keno.
Keno it was originally made in 1930. This box has absolutely no information on it or in it about what year this one came out. It's supposed to come with 12 different cards that are like bingo cards, but they're playing cards on it. But this one has more. And I think it came originally with plastic circles to put on here, but we're using our beans from Don't Spill the Beans from an episode previously and a 52 card deck of cards.
The goal of the game is essentially to get, a bingo formation in the card rather first, or just to have the strongest hand.
Right, and it is. It's bingo poker basically. The easiest version of it is bingo, where you're just trying to get a diagonal straight up or down, and then it gets more complicated when we start doing poker hands, where your four of a kind or royal flush would be your number one, and then a straight flush, and then four of a kind, and then full house, and down to two of a kind, and the cards are all kind of designed like that. They're all designed to have. I got four kinds three. I got a flush here. I've got a straight flush here, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's really a kind of a poker bingo.
Yeah, the game has a lot of ways of suggesting play styles. Like, for example, you mentioned one of them is literally just bingo, just get any kind of row or column and you're good.
Yep.
Some of them are you need to get a hand and then you wait for every other player to have a hand and then you compete with whatever hand you were given, essentially. So it's poker with a lot of extra steps.
Yep.
Or there's kind of two other ways that they recommend, where it's like one of them they've likened to blackjack, not completely sure how, but the dealer will essentially play against each individual player. And if you don't have a hand by the time the dealer has a hand, you're immediately out. But if you do have a hand, then you'll compete with the dealer and you win by an individual basis.
Has nothing to do with 21.
Nothing to do with.
Or blackjack.
And the roulette version, basically just as simple. Although it kind of says a lot about it. You really just pick a card and then you go, that column and row, that's what you're trying to get.
Yep. So it would be like spinning the wheel. If I flipped one of those and got a five of diamonds, I have a five of diamonds there. If I didn't pick that row for the five of diamonds, I wouldn't be able to, but luckily I did put it on the five of hearts. So that would be my rows that I could go on. So that one's a little more similar to roulette than the 21 blackjack. 21 blackjack, you have to read the instructions like four times, go, why are you calling it 21 blackjack? Super, super, super simple game. Doesn't have an age thing on it. I think anybody who knows how to play cards or bingo would be able to figure this one out. You might have to teach younger people the poker hands and what poker hands are, but they got, a nice little thing. The entire instructions are literally right here on the box, and they tell you all the poker hands that you need to know there. And again, you can teach poker hands by just looking at one of the cards. They have they have four of a kind, four threes on top, full house, everything. You can see. So I think if you were to study the cards, there might be better cards than other cards.
Mm.
But I'm not going to get that deep into it. I think when we play it, we'll just play it for fun.
Yeah, no, and like kind of piggybacking off of that, it's just, especially for people who maybe aren't as confident with poker or like understand the rules fully, this would be a pretty good way, I think, of like kind of teaching someone because, every row and column is designed to have one of those hands. So you're kind of always looking out for those things. So it's good for new players.
Yeah. I know young people always go for the two of a kind, three of a kind, four of a kind, making it easy, where the flushes and the straights you tend to lose that. And you tend to lose the idea and how easy it is to get that as opposed to four of a kind, five of a kind, or four of a kind, three of a kind, which is kind of the same odds. So I think what Hunter said is exactly right. It's a perfect way for younger people to learn poker hands if you really want your kids to learn poker hands.
Well, thanks for watching.
Yeah, and if you want to know more about us, check us out at toyarchaeology.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Toy Archaeology. Look for us on the group. We're more active. And don't forget to subscribe and like us on YouTube.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. And that's our pug in the background.